Yeah, fall into the whole seasonal video thing where someone will release a video on a certain holiday to get views, but this documentary is going to be somewhat related, unlike the one I released on Christmas where the movie didn't make sense to that holiday. Kicking off this film is based in Holland, the land of tulips, tall and tan ladies, and some memorable kids shows as Rembo and Rembo. Or Porno de Porno. And finally, Fuki Slim.
Oh, ik ben er bijna. Wat erg. Oh, ik ga vallen. Daar ga ik. Ja, en nu was hij bijna gevallen. Nou, mooi niet, hè? Oh, nee. Een bij. Ik ben een wesp. Een wesp? Dat is nog erger. Die gaat me steken. Oh nee, mijn kontje. Niet in mijn kont. Niet in mijn kont. Niet in mijn kont. Jawel, wel in je kont. Oh nee. Staat het goed zo? Ja, nou, is hij meer naar links. Oh nee, is meer naar links. Ja, is hij meer. Zo? Links. Ja, prima zo. Oké, komt-ie. Oh nee.
What, you think I pulled this out of my ass? No. This is what the kids were watching back in 80s and 90s. Oh, late 80s to early 2000 back in Holland. And man, I would marathon Rambo, even though I don't know a lick of Dutch. The only words I know in Dutch are slet, oor, flikker, kanker, lol, not lol, but lul, wheat, and Aussie. No, not that Aussie, but this Aussie. Now that your brain is blown away by these cartoons, let's talk about the main characters in this documentary. Their names are Louise and Martine Fokkens, authors, painters, tour guides, and oars. No, literally, they are actually oars. Hell, the title of this movie in Dutch is Owen Oors, meaning old horse. I'm not trying to be a cis male scum sexist, some other random bullshit words that feminists wants to throw out. But yeah, a little history about these twins. Louise and Martin Falcon have Jewish ancestries which they kept their heritage closely. Both married at a young age, they thought that their dreams came true, but due to some spouse disputes, Louise went to the business at age 20 where her husband became her pimp. Afterwards, her sister Martin joined the business as well, but not to do simple tricks, but to clean up the brothels after intercourse. And some clients were mistaken Martine for her sister, only to realize they were both twins. And soon after that, the word got out, most of the men wants to threesome with the sisters. Which at first you're thinking, man, that's fucked up and demoralizing, but to the twins it was basically interesting and fun. Both kept doing the line of work until Louise retired back in 2010 due to her arthritis, but her other sister kept doing the line of work because the state pension wages wasn't suitable enough for her. Yeah, Holland is big on welfare, but that's a different topic for a different time. First off, before we dive into the film, let's discuss over the do's and don'ts when visiting the Wallen, basically the red light district. Do ask properly to the ladies behind the windows if they're willing to engage in sexual encounters. They have the right to say no to you. Don't take photos or film when walking into the red light district. The ladies do cherish their privacy, and there's even a bunch of signs that states that no film photography is allowed. Do carry a lump sum of cash. Most of them do have different rates, so ask depending how much they charge. Don't be a dick. Well, that's basically a self-explanatory rule. Basically, the Wallen is just like the Autobahn. Sure, it's great to experience, but it's only for foreigners. You're better off hiring a private one to visit you in the hotel or house. Or travel to Utrecht and pick up a cracky sled for 10 euros. That's what my friend said, not me, man. Well, I'm saying it right now, but that's what he explained it to me. Now that you're educated, let's dive into the movie. As I stated before, Meet the Fokkens, or Owen Orr, is about the Fokken twins telling their stories and experience about working in the red light district for over 50 years. The film has a style of following them in daily life, one sister who's enjoying their retirement life and the other one still hustling and bustling. Both sisters do wear matching clothing throughout the movie, and the type of clothing are either colorful dresses to black coats with high heels. And man, after these years, they can still rock those heels. Throughout the film, you see Martine in a booth waiting for her punter or actually doing her line of work, which by the way, if you're grossed out by old people still fucking, you can skip those parts. And as a warning, this is not a family documentary. I don't know why I have to include this, but it's a fair warning, first of all. With Louise, on the other hand, you can see her painting or visiting her sister and talking about their days. But when they're together, it's basically traveling together to sex shops, the beach, hanging out in their apartments, visiting old places that they work or hung out, or even reuniting with old friends, or basically just walking in the streets of Amsterdam and talking non-stop. There is one occasion when Louise is talking to her daughter, discussing about her struggles to retain her children rather than her ex-husband keeping them in foster care, or how becoming a prostitute was a struggle as well, because the only time that Louise ever saw her children was during the weekends, and those were short stays because afterwards she has to go back to work. Even though they only show someone from outside the family into this documentary, it still leaves an impact in the whole two-sided coin ordeal. One side you have them enjoying their time of their lives and being old, while the other side is talking about their past to their children. Well, only Louise did a one-on-one talk while Martine didn't take part in it. But the chat with both Louise and her daughter wasn't screaming or any profanity or just blurring out saying, "Oh, you're a whore," or this and that. But rather it was a calm yet emotional on the viewer's side, and for that, that gives me that gives it a plus for me. The rest of the film was basically storytelling from fucking religious people like rabbis, pastors, and even Muslims, consulting Martine to retire her work as a prostitute and enjoy a retirement life like her sister, or watching them do stuff together. The ending of this film was the twins opening an art gallery event showing their life history via paintings like the streets of Amsterdam, pictures of penises with piercing, or random art like squiggles and animals. When watching this film, I remember having a discussion with some friends, and the topic was, well, screwing, and I started with the question with, so who would you fuck, either a chick who's 20 years old or a chick who's 60 years old? And without thinking, the first friend responded the 20-year-old bitch. The second one followed along the first response, and so did I, but our last friend looked at his pint, then made eye contact with us and said confidently, the 60-year-old granny. We kinda looked at him somewhat odd, waiting for someone to say, so you like gilfs, huh? So then I started, well, explain your choice. With a gulp of his beer, he started. With the 20-year-old, it's basically a lust factor because she's young and experienced. That makes love feel great, but you're only fucking and that's it. With the 60-year-old, not only you're fucking, but you're being intimate, feeling a romance, not only having meaningless sex, but having romance as well. Sure, her looks are long gone, but she'll know what to do with your body compared to the other chick that you know what you're gonna do to her body. Both of my friends laughed at him, but I kinda stood quiet cause he's right. Even though their looks are in the past, the twins, well, in the case, Martine knows more than the 20-something-year-old. She knows how to make the man feel passion rather than a quick in and out. And sure, it's every guy's dream to boink a hottie, but there's some who chases the older ones to make them feel what they have learned from their past experience is only the beginning on what's the road ahead. I guess the moral of the story is that looks can be deceiving, but experience can dominate all. Overall, this film was a simple walk of life with an Amsterdam twist. The shot of the city were great, and the color that the ladies were eye-popping. The good thing about this film is that it was a simple, on-point, with minimal filter documentary that everybody can follow and understand. The second thing that was interesting was the title itself. Now, sure, it translates to old whores, but it's actually used as a slang in Amsterdam for talking too much. And that's what makes this film good, because all they do is talk and talk and talk. But it's interesting because you have older ladies talking about intercourse and penises and other stuff that you not hear from your grandmom. There is some negative in this movie, and even though it was entertaining to watch, there were some errors The first one was when the director was showing old photos from the twins when they were young. The problem I had was with the music. It started with a scary or frightening tone. When combined with black and white pictures, it felt like the photos were gonna jump at me. The second negative was the camera being reflected in the mirror. Sure, it's a documentary. It's not a blockbuster movie that's gonna make tons and tons of geld. But if the camera could have moved 5 meters away, that shot would have been perfect. Now comes the important question. Is this recommendable? Yes, because this documentary will give you a roller coaster of emotions from happy, sad, confused, shocked, and even relaxed. This documentary actually captured the spirit of these twins very well, and they always have high energy from the beginning of this film throughout the end. Before I go, I want to give my thanks to my companions in Holland, and one of them is from Amsterdam while the other one is from Den Bosch. And it was a little bit of a shocker that the Amsterdam one didn't know about the twins, but the Den Bosch one did, and he's in his early 20s while the other one is almost reaching 30s. Well, it's not a shocker, but it surprised me a little, just a little bit. Also, another shout out to Chibi Channel and the little tip about the small controversy with the film, because basically the twins were promised something from making the film, but I couldn't find nothing and both of my friends couldn't find anything, so yeah, probably gonna check out their books to see if I can find the answer. So yeah, thanks again three of you guys. I really appreciate this. And so yeah, have a great Valentine's Day full of love and murder, also crying yourself to sleep, or calling this event a corporate plan to make the rich richer, but it's to each of their own. Until then, we meet again.